Yes. Holly? She's got a booming voice.
Shane, were you conscious of the rain around, and did that influence the way that you started your chase?
I actually had no idea that there was rain around, and up until it started drizzling and saw all the ground staff running to their covers, that was the first time I had any idea that there's actually rain coming. So it didn't influence the way we batted at all. We just knew we had to try and get the runs to balls down as close as we could, I suppose, as quick as we could, more than anything. But you know, when you're chasing over 190, that you're always going to have a few really big overs in there to be able to try and get it down to, you know. And if Michael and myself got out through that period of time, that it wasn't too much of a, you know, too big of a job for the guys coming in later on. So in the end, yeah, we had no idea that the rain was coming until it started to hose down more than anything.
Shane, your own form, you had a good third T20 against Pakistan, in the first match against Ireland, and now this. And you also missed the ODI series against Pakistan. So how did that break help you?
Well, I suppose the break of 5 weeks just gave me a chance to be able to really get into some fitness training and strength training, and just and freshen up, I suppose, as well, after playing a bit of cricket, but also I had to overcome a injury that I had from England. So it just meant I was able to really just concentrate on making sure that my body was, you know, a few of the deficiencies that I've got that I've got to continue to work on, that I'm able to get them as good as I can going into this block of cricket that we've got. So in the end, it's meant that my body's is in a very good place at the moment, and I'm able to continue to play at full intensity and full capacity. So you always hope that continue for a long period of time.
Just to clarify, had it started spitting when you took 20 off 4 balls from Marlon Samuels? So you didn't know at that stage?
No, I had no idea.
That was just, you thought you
no,
were just
I just knew at that stage that Marlon Samuels was probably going to be, you know, my guy to be able to try and, for Mike and myself to be able to try and take down, knowing that we're going to have to get at least one really big over off one of their bowls to be able to try and get the runs to balls down as close as we could. So you just try and, you know, see what's coming at you, and then, you know, try and make a decision as quick as you can to be able to try and get one of those big overs.
And were you thinking at any stage, what have I done, when you went for the gale and just couldn't quite hang on to it in the end?
Yeah, for about the next 16 overs. Knowing that if I know how much it makes a difference to our team, to everyone, if we're able to get Chris Gale out. So no doubt I was certainly feeling that pain until I was able to get him out. But in the meantime, he'd done a fair bit of damage and gave a lot of momentum to the West Indian side. So yeah, that was very disappointing. But in the end, to be able to try and make up for it in some way with the bat especially, it never makes it feel any better, but at least we're more chance of winning the game anyway.
How do you assess giving up such a big score and then, you know, effectively chasing it down, you know, batting so well? Does that raise issues with what happened in the first half of the match, or does it give the team confidence that you can chase a big total?
Both. Bowling wise, we certainly at times we bowled well, but there was other times where we executed very poorly, considering, you know, we knew exactly where these guys were going to score their runs, especially Chris Gale and Marlon Samuels. We knew exactly where their strength areas were, and we didn't execute anywhere near, I think, for periods of time that we needed to. And I'm certainly one of those guys who, especially to Marlon Samuels, I didn't execute exactly what we'd planned, and it's in the end for us to be able to go a long way in this tournament, we need to certainly be better at that. So from that bowling perspective, we definitely need to improve and be able to execute what we really talked about, to be able to try and limit the amount of damage that these guys of this quality can do. But batting wise, definitely we are very confident in our batting lineup. We know how important our top 3 is to our batting side, to be able to really try and set the platform for our batting unit. So it's not going to happen every game. Hope, fingers crossed, it does. It'd be in a perfect world it would happen every game. But we know we're going to make the most of it when we can.
What was your feeling when Dwayne Smith dropped the catch?
I was very happy. especially that he tipped it over for 6 as well. That certainly helped. Yeah, Dwayne Smith's a very good fielder, and as soon as I knew, I spotted exactly who it was, I was just about 100% confident that he was going to catch it. But one thing I did know I hit the ball right out of the middle, so I was going to take a little bit of catching. But there are turning moments in a game, and my drop catcher Chris Gale certainly turned it towards the West Indians' favour, and I think unfortunately drop catchers can turn events, and I was lucky that it was my turn when I was batting.
Shane, in 2 consecutive matches now, you have broken partnership, the O'Briens and today Gale. When the bowling unit is under pressure, what differently do you do? Because every time you come for your second spell, there has been a dismissal. What differently do you do?
Well, just more so than anything, just try and execute exactly what their weaker areas are, and that's what we do a lot of our planning for, is to try and know exactly what the ball to bowl to try and most importantly, try and eliminate the damage more than anything, and I suppose a wicket in the end is a bonus out of that. So I knew that I had to try and keep the ball very close to Gale's body, not trying to give him any swinging room, because if he's got any room to be able to swing his hands, no ground in the world's anywhere near small enough. So I've just been lucky that it's been my time in the first couple of games. I know how quickly things can turn around as well, and either those balls can fall into the gap, or someone gets a hold of you as well. So you just got to make the most of your good days and hope that you're able to execute your plans as well as you can. And for that period of time, I did execute, but then for that over where I let Marlon Samuels get away, I didn't, and that was very disappointing. I need to certainly sort that out.
Shane, you've spoken about the importance of the top 3. How important is it for someone in the top 3 to get going, to take advantage of the first 6 overs? And having Hussey at number 3, what kind of role is he playing? He seems to have adapted to T20 very well as well.
Yeah, when you're chasing 190, we knew we had to score very quickly anyway. We had no real chance to be able to, give ourselves a bit of time to be able to see what the wicket was doing. So, and it is a pleasure to bat with Dave Warner, because you know that if he has a day like even he did today, he set our innings up absolutely perfectly. I don't think I even faced a ball before he got out, just about, so maybe 1 or 2. So that certainly makes it a lot easier for me to be able to take a lot of pressure off me to be able to score. And then Mike Hussey, to be able to, I've seen what he's been able to do, especially in the IPL in 2020 cricket, and he's an amazing batsman to watch. It looks like he's not taking a risk at all, and he scores very, very quickly. So we are very lucky to have Mike Hussey batting 3, and he's just been able to adapt from opening to bat number 3, and is doing it so beautifully well. So as I said, our top 3 are very important for us to be able to really set the platform for our batting unit, to hopefully not put too much pressure on those guys, as much as we can. But as I said as well, it's not going to happen every game, so you just hope that you can have more good days and bad days.
Shane, have you ever, sitting back when you analyze your game, have you ever compared yourself with Jack Ellis, and where you find, if you both are all-rounders, and at the top of your game, where you find yourself, if there's a comparison between you and Jack?
What I do know is I find myself nowhere near as good as Jack Ellis. The things that he's been able to achieve in his career are absolutely mind-blowing, really, in all forms of the game. Test cricket, to think that even the longevity of alone to be able to play 150 test matches, let alone to be able to average 58 and get over 250 wickets, is just something that I think people dream of, but you don't think you'd ever get anywhere near. So it's a privilege to be able to play in the same era as what Jacques is playing at the moment, and he's been able to adapt his game to all forms of the game, to one-day cricket and 2020 cricket, as everyone's seen, especially in the IPL as well. He's a world-class 2020 batsman, let alone an all-rounder as well. So, look, in the end, I know that the quality of player he is. So there's no doubt that, as I said, it really is a privilege to be able to play in a similar time as Jacques, because he is no doubt going to go down to, if not the greatest player to ever play the game, he certainly will be in the top couple.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Whoops.